Hey guys! Welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. Today we are back working at the Oasis Springs save file and we are building another Spanish-inspired mansion. So let's get started. So here we are on the lot called Granada Place, and this is right next to the Caliente household, which I built in one of my previous videos. So I wanted to keep this neighborhood Spanish/Mediterranean inspired. And so here I've included another image of what I was trying to recreate. So, I mean, where I live, there's not a lot of Spanish-inspired houses that I've been seeing, and so it's just been really helpful for me to build off of a reference photo. And so what I really like about this house is the parking gate. It's pretty different from how I've been building fake garages so far. So I've used a black fence here that you can actually kind of see through into the parking garage there. So you can actually see the cars through that door. So I thought that was kind of cool. And pretty much I'm almost done here with the kind of front exterior. It was pretty simple to recreate. And the household that I was building for here, I made a family where there's one daughter, and then like all the other males in the house are super overprotective of her. So in this family, I decided to have like an older brother, a dad, and a grandpa. So they all live together in this house, and they're just, yeah, like they're super protective of their little sister, their little girl, their little granddaughter. And then for the daughter, her aspiration is to find a soulmate, to get a boyfriend, and she just wants to have this teenage romance, but maybe her family is like kind of getting in her way. So I thought that would be kind of cool to have this kind of a family in my save file. And so I built this mansion with this family in mind. And so there will be a room for each one of those family members. And yeah, so I made up kind of like the rest of the build. Only the front of the house was based off of that stock photo or reference photo. So everything else is just made up. So I didn't see like a picture of what the house looks like in the back or any of the rooms or anything like that. So this house has 2 floors. I'm really not a big fan of like basements. They just don't get a lot of sunlight, and so I try to avoid them, especially for these kind of like traditional looking houses. And so I have the 3 family members living on the 2nd floor. So that would be the daughter, the brother, and the father. And then for the grandpa, I gave him a bedroom on the ground floor. And that's just because I believe that like elderly family members, if possible, should be on the ground floor so that they don't have to go up and down stairs. It's just a safety thing. Obviously in The Sims, I don't think falling down the stairs would lead to death. Like that's not one of the situations. So it doesn't really matter if you put your elderly Sims upstairs, but for my sake, I decided to put it downstairs. And another thing about Spanish-inspired homes is I feel like they use a lot of like tiled flooring, even in like bedrooms and hallways. Traditionally, I only use like the tiled floorings for like the kitchen or the bathroom, but for some of these Spanish-inspired and Mediterranean-inspired houses, I use tiles for almost like every room, and there's no carpets basically. And I gave them quite a large backyard. I wanted to give them a swimming pool as well because I was thinking that, so maybe the daughter, she's kind of like shy and she wants a boyfriend, she's girly, you know, she's into like boy groups and things like that. And then her older brother, I was thinking could be quite popular, and then maybe he'll have parties from time to time and he plays sports, and maybe he has a lot of like friends that like to visit. And so it might be interesting if like one of his friends were interested in his sister, and you know, he wouldn't be too happy about it. So yeah, I kind of did build this with parties in mind as well. That's why I'm including this bar here. So if you were to host an event in this household, it should go smoothly because it should have like everything you need to host a successful event, such as like, you know, like the bar, the musical instrument, things like that. And another thing about the layout of this house is I didn't use like an open floor plan. So everything is in like little rooms with these arched hallways, which I think is really cool. I really like the staircase main foyer. I think that's really pretty. And I had like a little room where I put a treadmill as well. So I'm thinking that both the brother and the sister are quite active. And I didn't give a lot of love to this kitchen, I'm gonna be honest. um, it has everything you need. It's a standard kitchen. I even included like a little coffee bar there, but it's not my favorite kitchen. I find it a little dreary because there's no windows. That's just how it ended up being. So it looks a little like dim, I would say. But I chose traditional like wooden cabinets, dark wood, and I was thinking that maybe like they don't cook a lot, or like the dad tries but he's like not very good, and the grandpa doesn't know how to cook, so everyone kind of like just takes care of their own meal maybe. But yeah, this kitchen is fully functional. It has everything: the dishwasher, the microwave, the fridge, the stove, etc. I also gave this family a cat because I personally don't really like cats, but I want my save file to be balanced in the sense that there's a good mix of cats and dogs, and families of different types and different ethnicities and things like that. So I ended up giving them one cat, and I think the cat will be happy in this house. I mean, it's a really large house and there's always going to be someone home, which now that I think about it, maybe a cat doesn't really care if someone's always home. But here we have the dining room here. So again, I kept everything like a similar dark brown wooden furniture vibe. I wanted it to be kind of, like a traditional looking or antique looking furniture. And this here is the washroom that guests would be using. And this is also where the grandpa's room would be entered from. So you enter through the dining room. And grandpa has his own ensuite as well, so he doesn't need to share the guest bathroom. And here we have the living room. And again, I'm not sure if it's just like this lot, but it's not super like bright in terms of natural sunlight. And I've already included like pretty large windows, as you can see. So I think it's just a lot. But I tried to, brighten it up with a lot more lighting, like floor lamps and table lamps, to make up for it. If it's still too dim for you, please feel free to add more lights as you wish. Added the music stereo here, video game. So again, I'm just thinking about like the brother and when his friends are over, they want to party here in this living room. And so, yeah, I mean, it's not my style, like this furniture and everything. I prefer modern houses and modern builds, but I like how everything is turning out. Here we have the grandpa's room. So I was thinking the grandpa could be like this badass grandpa who used to be maybe like in a rock band or something when he was younger. So he's like the cool grandpa, and he like plays guitar, and maybe he'll like drink and party from time to time with like the younger kids who are here. But it's also kind of like intimidating to have a grandpa like that. Like maybe whoever the daughter brings home to introduce as her boyfriend, grandpa's like, no, you're not good enough for my granddaughter, or something like that. So I kept grandpa's room pretty simple. I didn't clutter it with too many items. And of course, I gave him a double bed just in case, you in your gameplay, he ends up with another partner. So yeah. So here we have the backyard courtyard area. I added some planting items, beach chairs, basketball hoop for the brother, and I also added this like green foliage on the walls, and I really liked how it turned out because there's certain areas of this exterior build that looks kind of empty, but I didn't really want to put another window because it just didn't make sense for the floor plan. So moving on to the upstairs, this is going to be the daughter's bedroom. So she ended up with the smallest bedroom, but I think it's really cute and it has a lot of items actually. So I gave her a single bed so she can't woohoo in her room. I gave her really like feminine furniture, lots of white and like the Tiffany teal blue. Gave her lots of girly posters, wardrobe, bookshelf, mirror, and she also has her own ensuite here. So she does have her own, private space, private female space where, all the men in her house can't like bother her. And I mean, the bathrooms are really boring because they all look the same. I have a tendency to just make all the washrooms the same, I guess. I just don't think I enjoy building washrooms that much. That's probably why. One thing that I did try to switch up was that I included the laundry machines in this bathroom, so there's no laundry room. And this bathroom is going to be the one that the brother uses, as well as any guests, perhaps, if they come upstairs. So yeah, moving on now, after I finished like duplicating all of these bathrooms. So yeah, like the dad's room, the master bedroom, of course, has his own ensuite. So really, it's only like the older brother who doesn't have his own bathroom. Even grandpa has his own bathroom. But here I'm making the brother's room, so I'm thinking that he is, yeah, like kind of like really into sports, very outgoing, and I was thinking maybe even he has, you know, a girlfriend, or he's had many girlfriends. So it's kind of like ironic that they don't let like the sister have a relationship. Thought that might be fun. And so I gave him a double bed, assuming that he might get a girlfriend during gameplay. He might want to woohoo with her or something like that. I added some sports posters here. I think I did set him as a university student, and then the sister would be a high school student. Yes. And then here we have the dad's room. So for the dad, I was thinking that he would be a businessman. I made him a manager, I think, because this is quite a big house. So someone has to be, you know, making decent amount to be able to afford this lot. And I didn't really have any thoughts about him, you know, remarrying or getting a girlfriend or anything like that. I feel like maybe the situation here is that he's just really busy with work. Like maybe he's a workaholic and he cares a lot about being able to provide for his family. So that's what I had in mind for the family, and I'm finished with this house that was built for them. And so you can download this lot from my gallery and start using it right away, or you can wait for my save file, which is almost done, guys. I'm very excited. So if you guys have any more ideas on what I should build next, please leave them in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Toodles!